Yes, guys, what's going on? Welcome to AdamMcKola TV. This is United Daily Live, the place where you get all your latest Manchester United news, headlines, transfer rumours, transfer news, all that good stuff in one place. And today we are looking at the future of two of our goalkeepers. Sergio Romero is linked with a move away from Manchester United and is reported to be left unimpressed by being left out of that Sevilla game in the Europa League semi-final, especially after playing in the quarter-final against Copenhagen. So Sergio Romero could be on the move with reported interest from other Premier League clubs, and Sheffield United are reported to want Henderson on loan yet again. Now, I don't think that's a surprise to anybody in terms of Dean Henderson being wanted by Sheffield United on loan. He was excellent for them last season. He's been excellent for the duration of his time there on loan. And it's no surprise that they want him. But I imagine that decision will weigh very closely with the decision to whether we let Sergio Romero leave Manchester United or not. So we'll be looking at those rumours. We'll be looking at the rumours that link Manchester United with a move for Alaba from Bayern Munich, which Christian Folk says aren't true. But we'll look at those rumours anyway. And also reports that Manchester United will be given the opening weekend off from the Premier League. The Premier League set to start on September the 12th, and it's believed United will have that weekend off the Premier League, so we can recover and get more rest in ahead of the Premier League restart. So good news for United, with us obviously playing extra into the Europa League and playing into the semi-final. Obviously we wished we were playing until Friday when the final takes place. Obviously we're not, but nevertheless, good to see we've got that time off, and hopefully we can get the team ready for the restart of the Premier League campaign, because those fixtures are going to come thick and fast, and we really do need to get the squad ready, not only in terms of the personnel that we already have and selling players, but also bringing players in. We need to get moving very, very quickly. Before we get stuck into any of the news though, we will do a little on this day. It's the 18th of August today, and on Tuesday the 18th of August 1998, the 40th anniversary of the Munich air disaster is marked by a benefit game for the families of the victims played on this day. It raises a reported 47,000 for each of them. The game also doubles as a farewell to Eric Cantona, the French maverick turned United legend. It is delayed from February. Obviously the Munich air disaster took place in February the 6th, 1958. This game took place on the 18th of August 1998, which was the 40th year on. It couldn't take place at the time because now actor Cantona's work schedule and it took place between United and a European Select 11 chosen by Cantona. Reds chief Martin Edwards is criticised for turning the match into a publicity stunt on the 40th anniversary of the Munich air disaster. And you can always expect some criticism. I can't remember that one, to be totally honest with you. I was 9 years old at that time, and I can't remember that game off the top of my head. But anyway, it was on this day all those years ago. Anyway, moving on from that, we will get stuck into the transfer news. And Sergio Romero wants to leave, according to reports. Now, Alien Tenno jumps in with a super chat and says Sergio was mugged off by Ole in the semis. I'd leave. And according to reports, Sergio Romero has been left unimpressed with being dropped against Sevilla in the Europa League. In my opinion, when you're a second choice goalkeeper, you can't talk about being dropped because you're obviously second choice. Now, I know you could say it's his competition. He plays in the Europa League. But even then, it's a semi-final, you know what I mean? You can't expect to be starting when you're second choice goalkeeper. And I don't think any of the goals were David De Gea's fault anyway. But nevertheless, he was left unimpressed by that, as you could imagine he would be. And his reported interest from Leeds United, obviously Marcelo Bielsa's there, Everton and Chelsea, all linked with a move for Sergio Romero. Interesting to hear Chelsea linked with him. Obviously Kepa looks like he could be on his way out if they can get any money back in for him. But they don't fancy Kepa. They've been playing with Willy Caballero, I believe. Could they go in for Sergio Romero after being linked with a move for Dean Henderson? Now, for me, if Sergio Romero leaves, then I believe Manchester United will bring Dean Henderson back into the fold and make him battle it out with David De Gea. Now, some might think that's dangerous. I personally think that's dangerous because if David De Gea plays well, you then are in danger of having Dean Henderson just sat on the sidelines doing nothing. But at the same time, there's been reports that Dean Henderson is ready to come back to United now because he wants to fight for that number 1 spot. And maybe from Dean Henderson's perspective, he's thinking, well, David De Gea has been making mistakes left, right and centre. If that continues, then I'm going to get an opportunity surely, and I'll take it and I'll make sure that I stay in the team. So you can look at it from Dean Henderson's perspective as a bonus. Now, I think if Romero is allowed to leave, that means Dean Henderson's coming back in. And I think if Dean Henderson is allowed to make that loan move to Sheffield United. Now, Sheffield United have been linked with Ramsdale from Bournemouth. I think it was an £18 million bid went in for him. And despite that, it's reported that the Sheffield United manager does still want Dean Henderson on loan. Now, again, if United keep Sergio, I imagine we let Dean Henderson remain on loan at Sheffield United for the foreseeable season. But if we don't, and we do sell Sergio Romero, then I think we could see Dean Henderson coming back to United probably a little bit earlier than some expected. And David De Gea would definitely have to be worried. But nevertheless, there you go. Sergio Romero, what do you make of that? Should he have started against Sevilla? Do you think we should sell him? How much could we bring in for him? 10, 15, 20 million? Anything? If we're selling it to a Premier League club, you have to be, especially if it's Leeds or Chelsea, we ain't going to be taking small money from him for Sergio Romero. But it looks like Sergio Romero wants out of Manchester United, according to reports. And Sheffield United want to keep Dean Henderson on loan for next season. So, we've heard those reports in relation to Sergio Romero and in relation to Sheffield United. Now, earlier on today, there was also reports that in a number of days, David Alaba would be announced as a signing for an English club. So it said David Alaba could be a Premier League player within a fortnight. Manchester United and Chelsea are keen on the Austrian defender, with Man City calling their interest as they had hoped to include the 28-year-old in their £55 million deal with Bayern for Leroy Sané. So this was what Sky Sports were saying. City weren't interested. United and Chelsea were. And a possible deal could be in the offing with him being a possible Premier League player within a fortnight. Now, Christian Falk immediately came out. He quote tweeted Man United Zone's tweet, which was reporting the Sky Sports story, and he said, not true. So, whether that's not true, he rejected a new deal, or, not true, he's leaving. I imagine it's the first one. He's not true to David Alaba could be a Premier League player within a fortnight, because that is the big headline there coming from Sky, isn't it? So David Alaba linked with a move to the Premier League in the next couple of weeks. Whether that one comes through or not remains to be seen. There doesn't seem to be much going on in terms of that one, though, to be fair. This was Sky Sports' full report on that. David Alaba could be a Premier League player within a fortnight as negotiations with Bayern Munich over his future reach a crucial stage. The versatile defender, who is entering the final year of his contract with Bayern, has been attracting a lot of interest from the Premier League. City have already tried to lure Alaba this summer. However, their interest may have cooled as they had hoped to include the 28-year-old in their £55 million deal with Bayern for Leroy Sané. Two more Premier League clubs, reportedly United and Chelsea, are keen on the Austrian defender, who is expected to start Bayern's Champions League semi-final against Lyon in Lisbon on Wednesday. Now, I imagine this could be a tactic from him and his agent to get a new deal with Bayern Munich. He's entering the final year of his contract. He's playing in a semi-final. This sounds to me like he's going to get to the final, win the Champions League with Bayern Munich potentially, and sign a new deal at the club. I can imagine he's not going to be coming to Manchester United within a fortnight, because surely if he was, there'd be more than this report from Sky Sports on David Alaba coming to Manchester United, and there'd be more coming out from Germany in regards to David Alaba coming to Manchester United. So I can't see this one being true. Now, would I take him at United? He's a very, very versatile player. He can play central midfield, central defence, right and left wing, and obviously his main position is left back, where some might say Luke Shaw. He's played well, but is he the man we want there? Who knows? So you look at that. There's talk about Delo leaving. Talk about, Brandon Williams being used as backup to Aaron Wan-Bissaka. You could have Luke Shaw, Alaba competing for the left back spot, which would be great. But I don't believe there's anything in this one. I think we would have heard a lot more about it if it was to be true. I just don't think David Alaba is going to end up at Manchester United this summer. There's a whole host of other players that I think United would prefer to make deals for. And even with a year left on his contract, I'm sure Bayern Munich would still want a heavy fee for him. They're asking for 30 million for Thiago Alcantara, which I believe is a bargain, by the way. But I'd imagine they'd want similar for David Alaba. Now, we're going to have those kind of funds available. The talk is that we want to get in Jadon Sancho, this, that and the other. Are we going to have the funds available to make signings like David Alaba? Who knows? We have to get some sales done though. And I did a video earlier about 10 possible players that could be leaving Manchester United. A few of them were on loan. Most of them were potential transfers. And that could be a possible area where Manchester United could raise funds. For Phil Jones, you're going to get 5 to 10 million. Sergio Romero, 10 to 15 million. Chris Smalling, 20 million hopefully. We've rejected 18 million from Roma. Marcus Rojo. So you got Rojo, Romero, Jones, Smalling. You got Pereira who could leave. Apparently he wants to leave. Mata who could leave. Lingard, Delo. There's a lot of players here that could leave United. So you're looking at that and thinking, there's a place where Manchester United could raise some funds to add to whatever their budget is of 100 million plus or whatever. So I don't believe these rumours regarding Alaba at all, nor does Christian Folk. But Sky Sports saying he could be a Premier League player within a matter of a fortnight. I'd assume they mean as soon as Bayern Munich are out of the Champions League with a year left on his current deal. But to me, it stinks of his agent trying to get a new deal for him from Bayern Munich, or maybe even trying to smoke out some other interest in his player. So there you go on that one. Some quotes coming from David De Gea as well via Goal. He said, I trust in myself. I showed my qualities all these years, so I just keep myself available for the manager. I'm always ready to play and try to help the team, as I have always. I think we improved already this season. We were 14 points behind the third position in the Premier League. We finished third in the end. We deserve to be in the final if we are honest. Maybe we needed a bit more experience on the team. But we have to score the chances. Let's keep improving. Let's keep fighting for this club. And let's try to win trophies next season. I think we are playing very good attacking football. And we are all enjoying playing attacking football. There's been a lot of games, not a lot of rest. So we have like a couple of weeks to rest properly. And then to start training again. That was David De Gea. Obviously, we're talking about our goalkeeper staying. Sergio Romero reportedly wanting out of Manchester United after being left unimpressed with being dropped against Sevilla. Leeds, Everton, Chelsea linked with a move for Sergio Romero. Sheffield United are linked with another loan move for Dean Henderson. But I imagine Romero and Henderson's futures are linked together. And we've just heard those quotes there from Spanish Dave in regards to improving and going on and pushing on for trophies next season. We've got another super chat from Shriyash Batarai, who says, can I get a quick shout out to the Man United Supporters Club of Nepal? And please include Nepal in that trip of yours to India. Shout out the Man United Supporters Club in Nepal. Thank you for your super chat. And of course, hopefully we'll be over there soon. It was a shame pre-season didn't happen this year because United were destined to go to India, and that would have been an epic trip. Dimitar Berbatov has also been talking as well. And he said, the argument between Bruno Fernandes and Victor Lindelof showed passion. And I have no problem with that. They both care a lot. United must speak about what went wrong now so they can fix these mistakes going forward. United need to model themselves on City and aspire to that level. Last night was a test and I thought United would pass, but it's a lesson learned for them. You can't blame inexperience either because they are plenty experienced as players. United have a lot of work to do to reach the level of City and Liverpool. So that was Dimitar Berbatov speaking. He also said United need to strengthen the squad. We need a centre half. Midfield and up front seems to be okay. Pogba's likely to stay, and I'd like to see Scott McTominay get back into the team. We need more depth. Ole made his first substitution very late against Sevilla when things weren't going well. It does show he trusts his first 11 a lot, but maybe shows he doesn't trust his bench so much. And it was a resounding message to that bench and those players on the bench, and a resounding message to the board as well, that we need to get those players in. So that's the thoughts of Dimitar Berbatov. Another legendary United striker was also talking today, and Dwight York said Anthony Martial is like myself, Thierry Henry, maybe Wayne Rooney, and even Cristiano Ronaldo, starting on the wing, developing and improving their skills, and then getting into that number 9 position. That's what Martial is doing now. I think Martial will get better, but he needs to play in that position a lot more. He needs to learn his trade. These guys are in their early 20s. I didn't play as a centre forward until I was around 24. And if you look at Henry and those guys, they all get to that position around the same age. So it's a work in progress. Dwight York coming out and sticking up for Anthony Martial. And I found it interesting that after 2 games where he rightly should have scored a couple of goals, didn't. But nevertheless, he's been fantastic this season. After 2 games, all the usual naysayers were out. All the usual naysayers were out about Ole Gunnar Solskjaer as well. It took just 1 defeat. Now, that was a massively important defeat. Obviously, we're not going to end up with a trophy now this season. But I don't think that says everything for our season. It's still been a successful season in terms of getting back into the Champions League, finishing in a respectable position in the league. Although we don't want to be third, next season we want to be pushing on again. Nevertheless, it's a good start for us this season. Ollie's first season. Would have liked the trophy, and if you would have told me at the start of the season 3 semi-finals, I would have said surely we're winning 1 trophy then. That obviously didn't happen, but nevertheless there's still been progression. Look at United's team at the start of the season to now. It's definitely improved. His signings have all improved the team. I believe those signings can still improve. Wan-Bissaka, Maguire, all of those guys can still improve, but he's definitely improved the team. He surely deserves the backing of the board in the summer. He surely deserves the backing of the fans as well. So let's see where he can take us next season. I still have some doubts, but nevertheless, it'll be all right. As for the naysayers and Anthony Martial, every single time, but I have no doubt that this season's been a successful one for him. We've seen a lot from him as a number 9, and we'll see a lot more from him next season as he's got more comfortable in the role as the campaign's gone on. Adrian said it'd be sad to see Romero leave, but Henderson is a capable replacement. What about Benoit Badiashile at Monaco? Has been linked with a move to Manchester United for a while. Not heard anything recently, so let me have a look. See if there's anything else on Benoit Badiashile. I have seen that he was linked with us before, but he's gone very quiet on that front. His tweets from random people on Twitter about him, but no reliability or credibility in them. Let's have a look on the news if we can find any news on him. Benoit Badiashile. 2 days ago, there was a story that United were in pole position after taking over Bayer Leverkusen. But when I tell you who reported that, you're going to laugh. It was The Sun. And they used French reports. And I think they're old French reports that we've covered before on United Daily. So I don't think there's anything in that one. Get hitting that like button, get commenting, get sharing, get subscribing, get keeping it locked to AdamMcKola TV. This is United Daily Live. We're live every single night at 10:30 p.m. with the latest Manchester United news, transfer rumours and headlines. Today we also had 10 players that could be on their way out of Manchester United this summer, as well as coming up, we've got a second part to that, which is 10 players that could be on the transfer list for heading into Manchester United. Obviously, we're not going to sign 10 players. We'll be lucky to sign 20% of that, 30% of that, get 2 or 3 players in. But 10 players that could be on Ollie's shortlist, in this transfer window. So we'll be releasing that video maybe tomorrow. So make sure you're keeping your eyes and ears peeled for that. Hit that like button, hit that subscribe button, hit the notification button. If you can, join AdamMcKola TV as well. Mustafa's trolling saying Fab's tweeted, but I know he has. Actually, he has. He's given an update on Gabriel Magalhaes, who says Gabriel Magalhaes is the main target for Napoli if they'll sell Koulibaly to Manchester City. The Brazilian centre-back is still waiting to take a final decision between Napoli and Arsenal. There's been a total agreement reached with Lille. Man United have only contacted his agent days ago, so it looks like United never pushed any further with that contact for him. Koulibaly's situation, Pep wants another centre-back after signing Ake. Talks are still on between City and Napoli to find an agreement. The two clubs had problems years ago because of Jorginho deal, agreed with City, and it was hijacked by Chelsea. Man City are in contract with his agents too. So there you go with that latest one on Gabriel Magalhaes. Nothing in terms of Manchester United, and I did say so at the time when we were linked with him that I didn't think it would come to anything, and it hasn't come to anything. So Gabriel Magalhaes looks set to sign for Napoli or Arsenal. He could be a Napoli target if they sell Koulibaly to Man City, which is interesting because the Brazilian still hasn't made a decision. So it looks like he favours a move to Napoli, but he's waiting to see what happens with Koulibaly. Interesting. I heard Mikel Arteta was the next best thing. Obviously not. So there you have it on that one. Pep panic buy into Alien Tenno. It does look like one last throw of the dice, doesn't it, from Pep Guardiola in terms of getting on that Champions League next season. He obviously wants to win it. PSG sealing their spot in the Champions League today. And that Herrera's going to a Champions League final. Fair play to him. Hope he lifts the trophy as well. I think Bayern Munich will do it, but I wouldn't mind seeing Neymar and Ander Herrera lift the trophy. I like Neymar. I think he's class. There were some people comparing him to Hazard and De Bruyne and that the other day. I think his level's above them. I think he's a phenomenal player. Sporting Wisdom says, be patient. We will make signing. I do think we will make signings, but we need to get players out the door as well. And getting players out the door also makes it more possible to bring more players in because it frees up budget and it frees up the wage bill. So fingers crossed we can enable that to happen as soon as possible. Because there's loads we could sell. Absolutely loads. What role will Fosu meant to play next season, says Josh. It's a good question. He's obviously played a few times for us, but it's hard to see whether he was just playing because other players were tired or what have you. I don't know. But it's clear that he's going to need to play regularly, especially after that injury that he's had. So I don't know what's going to happen with him. I can imagine if, for example, Diogo Dalot left and something like that, maybe he does stay, but depends on that, doesn't it? Haven't seen no Fabrizio. Okay. What is the situation with Sancho? Is there a chance he will come to United, or have they definitively given up on him? So ask MUFC_Tony Marshall. And Fabrizio Romano said, still the same situation. 120 million euros or no way, says Fabrizio Romano in relation to the Jadon Sancho deal. David says, Adam, we need 3 to 4 top players just for the first 11. I'd say possibly 3 for the first 11. You're looking at a centre half, a holding mid, and a right winger. And then I think we need an attacking midfielder who can float in between the bench and the first 11 when we want to rest Bruno and those kind of things. If Igalo is going to leave, we're going to need a backup striker or a striker that can come in and compete with the rest of the lads. Because we need to have enough going through the season. We've already shown this season that our squad isn't good enough to compete on all 3-4 fronts. We changed the squad up against Chelsea in the Cup semi-final. It wasn't good enough. We couldn't afford to change it around in the the Europa League semi-final, or at least Ole felt that way, and it cost us. So we need to bring in more players, and those players that Ole clearly doesn't trust, we need to get rid of them and bring in some funds for them, hopefully. Someone says Ben Foster back in. That'd be a little bit mental, wouldn't it? Ander Herrera stayed. He would have been captain of United. He got that in him. I wanted Ander Herrera to stay that whole time. Obviously, he didn't stay. He left Manchester United. It was his decision. But I believe the club should have got his contract sorted out before he was left in a position where he could talk to other clubs. As soon as he can talk to PSG, his head gets turned. They're offering him ridiculous money, especially when you're going to sign him on a free transfer. You can guarantee there's going to be no transfer fee. So therefore, Herrera's wages see the effect of that, and it goes up by an extra 100, 200 grand a week because there's no transfer fee. And United can't compete with those kind of wages, especially for someone like Ander Herrera. Reports he was on 300 grand a week or 350 grand a week. United couldn't compete with that. He's in a Champions League final though, so I'm sure he doesn't regret being at Paris Saint-Germain at all. Look at Fabrizio's retweets. There's no retweets from Fabrizio at the moment, so I can't look at them. I just read out the tweet that someone mentioned saying that we need to pay up 120 million euros or else. But yeah, let me know what you guys are thinking anyway. Make sure you're commenting, liking, sharing, subscribing, joining, all that good stuff as well. Thank you for tuning in today. Sergio Romero wants out, according to reports, with Everton, Leeds and Chelsea linked with a move for the Argentinian. But surely, if he leaves, then the Blades can't get Henderson on loan again, which is reports that they want Dean Henderson on loan again. So, what will happen to Henderson and Romero? United have gotten the week off, September the 12th. We will not be opening the league campaign on September the 12th. It looks like it will be the 19th when Manchester United will be starting their league campaign. And Christian Falk says that David Alaba rumours are not true. We had a Jadon Sancho update as well from Fabrizio Romano, basically saying still no changes. There's still negotiations, but Dortmund still want 120 million euros. So there you have it. Guys, let us know your thoughts in the comments below. Make sure you're keeping it locked. Like, comment, share, subscribe. For now, I've been AdamMcKola. You lot have been legends. I'm out there.